Hi ladies, this is a special video just for you to improve your marriage. Now I know a lot of us have pretty good marriages, we're in there. I'm just going to tell you 5 things that you can do to help your husband who loves you. Okay, men are so easy that I had a hard time coming up with 5 things, whereas my woman list, then no problem, I could have come up with 10. Listen, the core base goes back ages to the triangle of Maslow. How sad is that? Women have so many needs, men, it just goes back to the triangle. And if you don't know about that triangle, let me just tell you. At the bottom of the triangle is just need-based things. Men need sex. Men need food. Men need sleep. I know it kind of feels like we're married to a caveman, like I get that. But it's so easy to just do those things. Make a good recipe once a month. Let me talk about intimacy for just a second. So the studies show that average intimacy is between 1.5 to 3 times a week. And the 1.5, like who wants to have a 0.5? So I just recommend sticking with the 2. At least twice a week, we want to initiate intimacy. Now, if you're a woman and you initiate, you're getting something cute, you get extra points. We want extra points, so this makes sense. One thing that you need to realize is that with intimacy, a lot of times you'll have it once, and that's a needs-based intimacy. They actually needed it because of body release, like they needed it. And then immediately, like the next morning, they're wanting to engage again. That's more want-based intimacy, and that's a little bit more fun. So you can have it in clusters like that, make it fun. If you're one of those women that cannot get your act together and get it together, I would just suggest make a plan. Thursdays and Sundays. Just write it down in your planner. If you can't have it spontaneously before then, work on the Thursdays and Sundays. Now, trust me, I don't think your husband would mind if you're an A-pluser, go for the 4 or 5 times in the week. Go for a trip where you go to 21, whatever you gotta do. But they're gonna love you after you initiate. And you wanna make sure that you're satisfied and enjoying it. And so if you've got issues with that, then get the help that you need. There's books out there that can help you so that you can really enjoy your intimacy. Number 2 is a lot of times women talk in stories, and I'm gonna have a whole nother segment on that. But I'm talking about men today, and they don't talk in stories because stories have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Men most of the time talk in, do you know what it is? Bullets. Yeah, they're like shooters. Bullet, 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 bullet. You know, you're like, man, can you like say something more than a bullet? Probably not. So if you need them to respond to you in a way, you just give them a bullet. Hey, I've got an idea. Let me give you a list. This is what I need you to do. Bunk, 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 bunk. And so you just give them bullets. You can write it in a list-based thing, and when they accomplish those tasks on the bullets or the list, we give them a lot of praise. So that's something that you might want to know about. They don't talk in stories. A lot of them talk in bullets. The next thing you can do is plan some activities. A lot of men are activity-based. They like to be out of the house. So plan activities for them, give them some surprises. And one thing I really like to do is we go on a yearly honeymoon. It's a trip I plan pretty early in the year, like so we have 9 months to look forward to it. And that gives you a lot of good traction. So having a lot of activities planned can be the next thing. Number 4, this is just a no-brainer, but I'm gonna put it out there. You need to look pretty and take care of yourself. So if you're not an exerciser, like I get it, but anybody can do 5 minutes of jumping jacks and 5 minutes of sit-ups and curl your hair, get dressed. Don't just stay in your mom sweats all day with your hair in the ponytail. Now I get that you're gonna do that sometimes, but before your husband comes home, put on a little lipstick, a little bit of eyelashes, and get on something nice that doesn't have on the stains from the baby, and make some effort. And looking pretty is actually one thing when I've surveyed men that they say, man, I wish my wife just wouldn't let herself go. I wish she would just look pretty every day. I don't know why we can't do that. You can just take 5, 6, 7 minutes. So no ponies, no sweats when the hub comes home. So be looking cute. And then the last thing I'm going to teach you is going to change your life. It's called logicizing. So logicizing is a word I made up. That's why you've never heard about it. But logicizing is where you take an emotional issue and there's all these things spiraling and you synthesize it so that It's just down to a one-sentence bullet with the solution inside. So let's just say you and your husband, you have a little spat. Hey, come back to me on that, because I'm going to have a thing on conflict resolution. It's my specialty in the law and also with my PhD. So come back on that. But let's just say you have a little spat and you're all upset and you go to your room crying and you're in there crying and your husband just sleeps on the couch. But what you really wanted was your husband to come and give you a snuggle and a hug. And so the next morning you logicize it and you say, sweetie, what I'd like to do after we get in a fight is, you can wait 15 or 20 minutes, but then just come in bed, give me a snuggle, and that's how I know that you love me. That's just one example, but the point is that you give them just the point. You give them just the solution. It might lead to a dialogue where you're talking things through with them and you're working it out and coming to other solutions. It might be that he actually does it. It might be that he doesn't do it. It's all okay, but I'm telling you, if you logicize it instead of packaging in it, when you did this, you hurt my feelings, you did all of these things, you're more likely to get to success with your husband when you logicize. We can use our girlfriends and our best friends and our moms to help us process all of these emotional things. If you need to, you can use your therapist. With your husband, you can do it as well. But logicizing gets to the point where the man talks their language and gets you what you want. And guess what? Happy wife, happy life. See you next week.